All right, we're live. This is officially episode 3 of
It could be 2. We have no idea what order this is coming out.
That's actually a good
It
point.
could actually be
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
man. You might be episode 1.
You might be.
I'll
episode
take
one.
it. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
roll the dice, man.
You got no choice.
Yeah. So introduce yourself and what you do
And what you ate for breakfast, man.
and what you
That's
ate
what
for
we've been doing.
breakfast. That's what we've been asking.
My name is Chris LaRocca. I'm a artist, producer, songwriter from here in Toronto, and I had a cold sandwich on the table for breakfast, and it was lit.
It's like 3 o'clock, bro. That's your
Yeah,
first
yeah,
day?
yeah. It was a bit of a night last night, but
What'd you do last night?
that was good. I actually went to go see Idols.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Fire.
know if you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Super
Sick, man.
sick. They're
Nice.
like, yeah, it was a crazy show.
Awesome.
And then me and my manager, we don't get to like pop out together too often.
Yeah.
So we carried it to cash only on
Nice.
Dundas
Oh.
after. And
Oh,
shit.
damn.
Long night, eh? Kept it going.
Yo, that
you
concert
know?
probably ended at like, what, 12?
I think we left early too, so it ended up like
You didn't catch the last song. No encore.
no encore. Left at like 10:30. I got home at like 3 a.m. But
Right.
you know, it was worth it.
Yo, I don't know
That's-
about you. I get exhausted at concerts these days.
They
Yeah.
have bad ventilation, man. That's what it
That
is.
too.
It's hot. Were you at the McGee show?
Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
that
we were
was
just talking about-
cooking the entire
the
time.
McGee show was hot. That
Yeah.
venue is like, yeah, it's
Phoenix.
like if it was like a equivalent to like a house or apartment, it would be like some like crappy shoebox apartment in like
no
Parkdale.
AC. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank God they're here, but like at the same time, bro, please get your ventilation up.
For sure.
Yeah, for
Crazy.
Well, he's coming back to history
Yeah.
on October 1st.
should be
and
nice.
that place is ventilated.
That's true.
That place is air conditioned.
So
That's
we-
what we ask of
We
nowadays.
saw him at
yeah.
Great Hall like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, actually, I think I semi-recognized like Janelle and Kyle, but I didn't fully, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah, we were all in a line on
Okay.
like the
Yeah,
balcony.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we were at the same show. We were right up there too. But that
Nice.
show was also dog because the house engineer, ruined
Man.
it.
Oh, that's right.
I heard it wasn't the house engineer. I heard it was just truly how he wanted it to sound. I don't know. I'm just going off what I heard.
That's always a good,
Good cop. Yeah.
good cover up. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was intentional. You
I
know?
wanted it to be
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Every time he raked the guitar, my ears were just like
Yeah,
that's true.
reaching.
Well, apparently he was going through like
his 4-track, right?
yeah, but like direct to the board. So there was
No.
no like amp, there was no like mic or anything. It was just
From-
going like into his like tape thing, whatever, and then directly to the board. So I think you were just really getting this like DI tone that just like wasn't hitting, you know.
I think he
but-
still just does DIs though.
yeah, it sounded good the last show.
Yeah, the last show
for
sounded
sure.
good. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
You got to work out the kinks, you know?
Yeah, no, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
I
why
know.
it was so funny because like Dijon's sitting there, fucking hitting the drum, hunched over the entire time. Like this guy's back is gonna be fucked by the end of the night.
Yeah,
It's so
with
funny
like a
to-
sea of cables in front of him. It was sick. It was nuts.
No, it was
That
a good
is
show.
Yeah. It was
Okay,
really
so
cool.
cold sandwich, cold start.
Yeah,
All right.
cold start to the day. Cold drink.
Nice. And the blazer, too. I'll put a blazer on out of solidarity, but what do you got going on after this?
Appreciate that, by the way.
Thanks,
This was
man.
like a last minute decision. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
I
you
was
look,
gonna-
you look smart.
Hey, thank
You
you.
look smart.
I'm not as smart as I look.
Don't we all?
After this, I'm just going to have a little celebration with some friends, you could say. Up north. I'm from Kleinburg. I'm actually was born in Vancouver and then I moved to this small town called Kleinburg.
Wait,
Shout out Kleinburg.
isn't
Yeah.
yo CK? Isn't Pez from Kleinburg?
There's someone else from Kleinburg. That's
I
crazy.
think I know. I think
That is
one of my
good.
buddies
Would you know
is
them?
from Kleinburg.
Would you know if there was someone from
Absolutely.
Kleinburg?
If there's anyone from Kleinburg, I'm going to know them.
Yeah,
know
what's
what?
the population
Do you know
looking
No.
Okay,
So I guess maybe they're not from Kleinburg.
maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's just faking valor, man.
Yeah.
He's taking
I mean,
Kleinburg
stolen valor
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Kleinburg?
Kleinburg valor.
Kleinburg over the years has definitely grown, like everywhere does. But at the time when I was living there, it was like the smallest town you can imagine. My elementary school had 300 people, so it was like,
Oh.
yeah, it was crazy. It's one
I
of
like
those.
that.
Yeah,
You can
very
sell
small
that show
town
there
vibes.
for sure, though.
The place I
Oh,
live,
yeah,
the
for
place I
sure.
live now is like 2,000 people in the whole town,
Where's that?
and at Belmont.
Oh,
and it's
Belmont,
like
yeah.
and it's literally like
It's a complete lie. There's no way there's 2,000 people in Belmont.
there's 2,000, exactly 2,000, bro. They count us every day. They round us up. and
It's
they're
not a
like,
long
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Still
everyone in
2,000?
line,
Quick
yeah.
yeah, no one's moving here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe, man. Moving from like, do you feel the difference between Kleinburg and Toronto?
Oh, for sure.
What kind of question
for
is
sure.
that, bro?
Well, I want to know how, because I think we probably experience it in different ways.
Well, Kleinburg traditionally, this is gonna sound like so preachy and like historical, but Kleinburg originally was it was like a pioneer gas station, you could say,
Okay.
back in the day. So like it was the one town between Toronto and Barrie. So when like people were on their horses and like carriage and shit,
Yeah.
they would stop in Kleinburg so the horses could eat like hay and like twine and shit. And like refuel was like the stop spot. So like
It's a pit
big-
stop.
pit stop. Yeah, so it's big like pioneer history. And then because of that, we have this like the logo of Kleinburg is like a mouse and like a ball of twine because like we had like a bunch of twine, I guess. I don't know
Wow,
why.
Just lying
It's,
around.
like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, so then we had
It
this
could have been a
festival.
horse.
It could have been a horse, right? It would have made more sense. And now we have this festival. It's not anymore. It's done now, but it was called Binder Twine. It was like a pioneer festival.
Fire.
So it would just be like pure like pioneer shit. And
It's kind of sad, man. That you could have played that one day.
I was gonna say.
I did play it.
Oh, you did?
I did play it.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Seated for like the fucking like old people just seated watching my like math rock band at the time just like shred, you know? It was crazy.
Were you a math rock guy?
I am, yeah. I was and I still am.
Yo, Dan is an unreal math rock guitar player.
No way.
Math rock is the one.
Okay, damn.
More than try, man. This
We're
guy's
gonna
an
have to talk about
absolute weapon. We did his
Wow.
project last year, and the whole thing is just like crazy.
Nice. Well, you guys got to send me that.
Yeah,
I gotta
absolutely
hear it.
will.
Yeah, I grew up on a lot of jazz, and then when I, got emo in like grade 8, and I got into like post-hardcore and like
Kind of stuff.
metalcore and stuff,
Kind of stuff.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To this day, and at that time, the first like screamo metal band that I really fell in love with was Every Time I Die.
Every time I die, okay.
Solid band. They have an album called Last Night in Town, another one called Hot Damn. That was like,
Mhm.
honestly, the lyricism holds
Bring me
up to this day. It's
The
like
lyricism.
crazy. Apparently, the guy got like, I can't remember which album. I think it was Last Night in Town. The guy got like hammered in his high school parking lot and passed out in his car, and then he woke up and like all the lyrics for the album were written. So
What the
it's like, yeah.
Who wrote the lyrics?
I don't know, man. Someone broke in his car and did it. I don't
That's
know.
lore right there.
Yeah.
That's her.
And then aside from them, Alexis on Fire self-titled.
Oh yes.
Alexis on Fire back in the day, man.
Yeah, man. Like the two girls on the schoolyard record, like Dagger Through the Heart of St. Angeles, whatever the hell. Amazing to this day.
What was that? What was that big stadium record that was huge on Warped Tour from Alexis on Fire?
They did Watch Out, which was like still pretty screamo and still pretty like
yeah.
fringy. But then after that kind of fell out. I think it was Crisis was probably the big
That was
one.
probably it, yeah.
And I still love them. Shout out my guy Wade McNeil. That's my bro. Love
Mhm.
him. And I love all the music, but Alexis on Fire self-titled is like
Yeah.
it's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the days of when they still used to advertise music in like movie theaters. You remember that?
Yeah. The
That's,
album.
that's
Yeah.
actually how I got hip to
You're
Drake
aging
too.
yourself, man. You're aging yourself.
That's crazy.
I heard Over in the theaters. Before that, I wasn't really listening to any hip hop.
Drake over.
Yeah, I heard Over.
That was
in
your
the theaters.
introduction to hip hop.
Kind of. I mean, like I was aware of it, but that was the first time I went and listened to it myself.
Wow.
Wow.
What was your
From the
introduction to
movie
hip
theater.
hop?
My introduction to hip hop was my boy, to this day, one of my 3 or 4 friends I've kept from like Woodbridge Kleinburg, like my solid, like forever friends. My boy Julian played me Gangstar
Oh,
and
that's-
Biggie.
That's quite classic.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
a throwback, even for then, probably. Right?
yeah, he had an older brother, whatever, like that put him on, I guess. Like, I guess my first introduction to hip hop was like everyone was like, Much Music. It was like, Much Music video.
Not
fucking
everyone's
countdown. I guess not everyone. Yeah.
Not mine.
Okay. Yeah.
You can
Facts.
afford those channels, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was the one channel we had. So.
Yo, Kleinburg. Is like,
Yeah, Kleinburg's up, dude. But I think my real introduction to hip hop was my boy in like grade 9 showed me Gangstar. Played me Ready to Die by Biggie.
Yeah.
Big L too. Lifestyles
Ooh.
of Poor and Dangerous. Played me that, and I was like, that album for sure. I was like, to this day, I got it on vinyl. One of my favorite hip hop albums ever, and like,
Amazing.
obviously I keep up. But
Yep.
I love the classics.
Yeah.
So
crazy. So you have quite a big range of music that you've been like introduced to. When you started producing, what were you trying to make? You started as a producer, right?
I did start as, I started in bands, right? So like, I just started as a musician, like I played in like a cover emo band at first, covered like Taking Back Sunday. And,
That was my shit too.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
It's a rite of
It's a rite of
passage.
passage.
I was like,
Yeah,
Devil Wears Prada, asking like Alexandria, like that was my shit.
Devil's Prada was lit.
You guys are thrashers, man.
Yeah, we were thrashing. And then I had like a metalcore band. I don't know, the bands just kept evolving until it was like when like cover band metalcore, math rocky, and then by the end, I can't tell the perfect timeline, but definitely the music got a little more digestible, you could say.
Right.
Less screaming, more singing.
Yeah.
Always like had a passion for like technical music and like some moments that were like beautiful but like play with your head a bit. And sometime around like the end of my band lore, I was like really into J Dilla.
Yeah.
I
J
got
Dilla?
super into J Dilla.
I think that I got into J Dilla right when I got into weed. And
Makes
then
sense.
that pretty much like fueled it. And then they
That's
fed
crazy.
each other. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Dilla.
that'll
yeah.
go hand in hand.
Yeah.
That'll go hand in hand. So I got really into like J Dilla. This guy, a like internet friend of mine. His name is Simon. Spells it Psymun. He was just like a producer, beat maker back in the day. Those kind of people that are just making like, I don't know, like instrumental music, but it was like hip hop conscious and it was just like sample based and like also like just have moments that were just like so musical. And I was like, this is sick. But I'm like playing in a band and I'm like, I don't. So I tried to bring it to the band. I got like a sampler, like an Akai MPC and some other stuff. And I'll try to like,
really?
yeah, I was
You
trying
had
to
the
like,
OG MPC?
the OG MPC 500.
Wow.
Yeah. And like a chaos pads, like the core KP3,
No way.
I
Chaos
think.
Pad's still
Yeah.
floating around. I've seen a few recently.
The
Yeah.
KP1s are trying to like, they're hard to find.
They're hard
Yeah.
to find.
They're sick
You
though.
can find anything on
sick.
Reverb, man. Reverb.com is
No.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
tried.
Dude, COVID was
Try
crazy. You
harder.
could find anything in COVID because everyone was trying to make a buck, bro.
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
could
it was
find.
Yeah,
nuts.
that's true.
I was
That's
a
true.
big like Roland SP404 SX person. That was like my machine. I know it
Crazy.
inside and
I
out.
tried
Sold
it
mine.
So I gave it a real shot.
It's tough.
I
It's
don't
tough.
know,
But if
yeah.
you learn it like you would learn like a DAW,
Sure.
then you can't lose. You know, it's
Fair enough.
sick. And I had one for the longest time. I sold it because I was fucking broke and I just needed the money at the time. I was like just moved out of my parents' house, whatever.
Yep.
But then during COVID, the tables had turned. This other guy was down bad. And he's like, I'm selling this brand new in the box for $150.
Yo,
it's like
what? Those things are like $800
Wow.
bucks.
yeah, and it's like a vintage piece. It was in the box. I have the original box.
That's the
Damn.
universe.
And I
man.
literally
It's me.
left being like, I feel so bad for this guy.
Damn.
Fuck, it's good
That's
to be
You're
life.
like,
here
I'll give
right
you
now.
100.
Yeah. I was like,
That's life, bro.
Haggled it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I tell him the thrift shop story?
No.
I
Um,
gotta hear that after though.
Yeah, that's an off-camera story.
But yeah, I started to bring sampling to my band, and it was cool for a moment. But classic band situation, we broke up because there was like beef in the band.
let's get into that.
Honestly, you're not too far.
Not
off.
too far off.
Oh, is it a girl?
Was it the same dude?
It was like I wasn't involved in this, but it was like
you sure?
let's just say it was like there was girls involved that tore shit apart, and they were very close to some of the members.
You're trying to beat around the bush, man. You've pretty much already hit on. You might just say, "Yeah, I got it."
Yeah, these are subtweets, man. You need to-
Yeah.
We were involved. It was crazy. But so it was just like, I don't know. I mean, we're also young too, and there's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
egos in the way.
Man,
we all
that
have love for
that'll
each
happen
other
today.
still.
That's just life.
Yeah,
for
it's just
sure.
life. We're all boys now. It's just like we were young 20s, got into a fight, broke up, whatever. Best thing that happened for me though, because now I had all this sampling gear and no band. So I'm like, fuck it. I just like went to my parents, like, I was living in my parents' still. I was in like my bedroom, my parents' house. And my introduction to production was like, I like daisy chained every sampler I had together and a microkorg. And I produced with no laptop. So like, I would
No
make
way, bro.
all my shit in a laptop. Yeah. Just like resampling and then like memorizing, making notes and be like, hey, I want to play this pattern, this like whatever at this time. And like I was building out like a set. And then I started this like the predecessor to what I'm doing now. It was a project. Unfortunately, it was called Sex Tape.
Wait, why? Unfortunate.
It's not
man. That's-
unfortunate.
That's
Yeah.
fire.
I mean, it's kind of sick, but like it was, I don't know. To
if
this
branding
day,
wasn't a thing, man, you should definitely
Yes.
drop that.
Sex Tape Volume 2 coming soon or what?
Volume
Yeah.
2.
honestly, it may have to, man. There's still like
That might be an
diehard
audio
Sex Tape
visual
fans.
experience.
Yeah.
We got the crew. These guys right here.
Beautiful. Let's get it, guys. The only problem is you search Sex Tape, like you're not getting music.
Yeah.
You
Your
know,
SEO
you're
is
getting-
like struggling a little bit.
yeah, you're getting
That'd be
everything
such a
but music.
huge win to take over that SEO, though.
Honestly, yeah. If you could,
That'd be
I
dope.
didn't, but it would be sick.
You could sell that SEO back to fucking Pornhub and make a killing. You'd be set for life.
Sure, yeah. I should claim to own it. I don't know. Whatever.
Yo, you
got
should have
that-
put
you
it
got
out
that
years
domain.
ago. That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
real miss right there.
Hindsight's 2020.
So you're
Damn.
making this all live.
Yeah, I was making it all
the
live.
moment.
It felt like a DJ set, but I was like singing over top of it. I remember the first time I went to a studio to record Sex Tape music. Sex Tape
Do
music.
you have a cover yet
A cover of like
for Sex Tape?
a cover
Album
song,
cover.
album cover.
Yeah.
The album covers were just like They were bad.
We got to insert it in. Every time you say sex tape, it's just like,
Yeah. I'll send it to you guys.
Please.
One of them was like, yeah, it was bad, man. It was like my interpretation of what like R&B was at the time. So it was like all the covers were terrible.
Can't even imagine. I'm gonna try not to imagine. Continue.
Honestly, it's not as like crazy as you think. It's just bad.
You're
quality.
building it up though. So,
You'll see it. You can be the judge.
they'll all
be the
see
judge.
it. They'll see it.
yeah,
I was no graphic
look at it in
designer.
public for sure though.
Yeah. It's definitely, it could have been cooler, but but yeah, the first time I went to a studio with that project, the guy went to like record my shit was so confused. He's like, okay, like, do you like the stems for this? I'm like, what's a stem? And I was like, we were having this miscommunication. I'm like, it's all in here. Like, it's all like in these things. And he's like, I don't understand. Like, how do we get them out? I'm like, I'm going to have to play them out. And it worked out. It was sick. Once we had it in the box, we like added stuff and like made it whatever. But it was definitely, I had a moment. I'm like, oh, true. Like, this is why people use laptops. Cause like, this is crazy. You know, like, how am I going to record this? You know,
that's fair. You spend all your laptop money on like gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I, did the opposite. But
Yeah.
We did find the episode title. It's gonna be sex tape.
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Some clickbait. Some people will love that.
It's not even
Yeah.
clickbait, man. That's just reality.
Yeah.
It is.
The
It
sex
is.
tape.
Okay.
It was weird because it was like the fan base for sex tape was like, I was transitioning out of this like math rocky indie scene that was also very
Yep.
associated with like metal core. And my drummer, when I played live for sex tape, his name's Andrew McInerney. He's still like a real good friend of mine today. He's also a photographer. He goes by Andrew Snapped. He's incredible.
All right.
And he played in this metal band called Structures. They're like a big metal band.
Wait, Structures sounds so familiar.
Yeah, they were like a big Toronto thing.
Structures. I know. Maybe I'm thinking Architects.
They were like hand in hand.
Yeah,
they're like
okay,
boys.
that's
Yeah.
probably
That
where I
makes
heard
sense.
it.
Structures and architects.
Yeah, right.
Bro, I've
They
definitely
planned
heard
that
the
shit.
band. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah, so he played drums for my band and he would talk about it. And I had this like random like fan base of like really metal guys.
Yeah.
And the thing about metal fans is when they love something, they love it for the rest of their lives. They're never falling off. Like
That's true.
they listen to like, I don't know, fucking like Asking Alexandria for the
Yeah.
first time. And like, I know it's not metal and someone's going to like shit on me for saying
No,
it.
whatever. Man.
Let's say like Poison the Well. They listen to like one of these bands when they're young. For the rest of their lives, they're going to listen to that person.
Yeah. Their kids are gonna hear those albums.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is the good shit when I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
You kids don't know shit
Yeah, you
these
don't know
days.
anything. So for that like project, like a lot of these fans came from that world. So to this day, to my point, I put this shit out like probably 10 years ago at this point, maybe 12. Every week, I still get notifications on YouTube being like, you need to fucking bring this shit back, bro. This was the best shit that ever happened in Toronto.
All the metal fans are like, sex tape was the fucking.
Yeah, sex tape was a shit, bro.
No
I don't
way,
want to
dude.
tell people I fuck with this, but it's fucking great. And it was like one of those, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, you
man.
gotta give them what they want. There's fuck, it's Boys Alone sex tape. That'd
Boys
be
Alone sex tape.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'd love to promote sex tape.
The name alone is like
Fire, bro.
I don't even know how I could do it again because it was like the music was like picture like House of Balloons era The Weekend,
Okay.
but like
This is already.
Like-
I'm already lost. I thought you said it was metal.
Yeah, it wasn't a metal project.
No, my like sex tape.
Yeah,
My
sex tape.
No, it was like really corny R&B music.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the metalheads were like,
And they were fucking with it.
that's
They can't admit it
loved
though. They can't.
Did you
admit it.
sprinkle in some metal like Easter eggs,
Yeah,
or
just
was
every
it just?
now and then. Just
Not really. Like I wish that would have been sick because that's a thing now. I feel like
I'm a whisper in your
yeah, little pig squeal or something. Yeah, but it's crazy because like, yeah, the music was. I wouldn't be able to replicate it now because it was so naive. It was
Yeah.
like my interpretation of like that era of The Weeknd, but like if he lived in like a small town in like rural fucking Canada,
It's a great
you know?
album description though. Bro.
Yeah,
Someone's got that.
it was
It's crazy.
fried.
Niche,
Yeah.
man, it's niche.
Yeah.
It's very niche.
So I don't know if I could do that again, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It'd be
Whatever,
sick. To
Oh,
do.
you're trying to bring that into the
A
fold.
long
now.
career ahead of you.
Yeah,
That
right.
that might be a retirement project.
I want exactly. I want to like cap off my life with one more sex tape album once I like.
This is
I
for
don't
all the
know.
real fans.
For
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
metalheads,
exactly.
dude.
So how would you describe your music now then?
Now, like right now,
Yeah.
I think I've always had like a struggle as an artist because I've been so all over the place musically my whole life, which is a great thing.
Yep.
But
Blessing and a curse, maybe.
what's that?
Blessing and a curse, maybe.
Absolutely,
A little bit?
blessing and a curse. Yeah, because I think, especially when you're writing for the people and producing, like, I think the struggle in my life was like, what what is my sound? Like when I look at myself in the mirror, what do I hear? And I think I just figured it out, the music I'll make for the rest of my life. So the music I'm making right now is kind of like, it really feels like cottage core soul kind of vibe.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Is any of it out?
I have a lot of music out, but none of what I'm about to put out is what I will be most proud of and what I will continue to make. I think, it's like if you were to go to like the Midwest of the States and see some like guys in overalls playing like on their like porch at like sunset.
I feel like all of us are kind of gravitating.
it's crazy.
to something like that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about doing like an alt country project.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I don't know, the whole cultural zeitgeist seems to be moving towards like,
For me, I know what the push is. I know
Yeah.
I'm just sick of hearing production. Like I'm kind
That's
of
fair.
tired of hearing.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just tired of hearing production. I just need to hear musicianship again.
Exactly.
we're technologied out.
For sure.
what it is.
For sure.
man.
I think production just, is compensating for like you didn't write a good enough song,
Wow.
So I think that
That's
Honestly.
that's kind of a bar.
It's
right?
not, it's
Yeah,
not- it's not
yeah.
wrong. It's true.
I think when you're overproducing, you're like underwriting, So I think for myself, like I've always played a lot of instruments. I have so many incredible instrumentalist friends. My whole life, I look at the music that's influenced me most. It's been like the band, Bon Iver, anything in between and adjacent to that.
I feel like we're all, just because we didn't put out a project early enough, I just feel like I'm biting Dijon and his crew all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean-
band, Bon Iver, fucking like you name it, man.
When
Jeff Buckley, like
Yes,
I just feel
Jeff
like I'm
Buckley.
always biting.
Janis Joplin, all these people,
but
there
I'd
was
be
this
so
girl,
happy.
Jillian Welch. I don't know if you guys ever.
No, I don't think so.
She's like kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's like
Let me get that name.
folky country adjacent, but she's incredible. She has a song called The Way or The Way It Goes. It is like out of here. It's crazy. And like
Okay.
this is all music I've just loved for so long, and you appreciate it from a distance because you're like, oh, I can never do that. These guys are like, Neil Young, whoever, like
Oh, Neil
Steely
Young.
Dan, Crosby,
Yeah.
Stills, Nash, like these
Arthur
are like the
Russell,
goats
Yeah.
of
Arthur
their
Russell.
generation. Yeah, exactly.
Arthur Russell's a weapon.
Do you think this is something
Exactly.
you like came to appreciate like as you got older, or is it something that was kind of like in the background, kind of scratching your?
I always loved it because my dad loved a lot of the stuff.
Mm.
My
Oh,
dad
there
played
you
me
go.
Steely Dan, like King Crimson, all the stuff for the first time.
Crimson. Ooh.
I mean, you're a math rock guy. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
King Crimson's incredible.
seamless.
Progressive rock early on for sure.
Yes, yeah. He put me onto a lot of that, and then I found my own versions of that. Like I'm a huge Grizzly Bear fan. I love Grizzly Bear so much. I feel like they're our version of some of these bands.
Yeah.
And some other stuff in that world. Even Bon Iver, like that's like our, I don't know, you name it. Like he's like our acoustic like king, is like
our Bob Dylan kind of.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
compare
you
more
could
to
say
like,
that. Neil Young, maybe.
Maybe I was thinking he kind of reminds me of why am I blanking so hard? Too many drinks. Genesis. What am I
Justice?
thinking?
Oh, Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel. He
Yeah.
reminds me of Peter
Okay,
Gabriel
okay,
a little
okay.
bit. Paul Simon maybe even.
Paul
Yeah, yeah.
Simon.
True.
Thank you.
Yeah.
good.
I think to answer your question, like I always loved it, but it felt like impossible to make that. But when I find myself, I think the truest measure of the music you love is like when you are like up north of the cottage with your boys that aren't involved in the arts, when you're just like absolutely
Yeah,
letting
for
loose,
sure.
what are you putting on?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
That's what you love. Like I
100%.
love a lot of shit and I'll listen to it in the car or whatever, but when I'm like trying to enjoy my moment and myself and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
night and my life,
Yeah.
what am I listening to? And then
Have you heard Mally Velasquez?
yeah, she just like kind of went
Underrated.
crazy this year.
Underrated, man.
Unreal.
She is so sick.
She's
Unreal.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Something
She's
about
kind
that,
of
like,
that
panhandle like
Yeah,
acoustic
yeah, yeah.
tone is just so enticing. But she also has like that Adrian Lenker.
Adrian Lenker, I was gonna say,
No,
Big
love
Thief,
Adrian
adjacent.
Lenker, yeah.
But-
So Adrian's partner, I don't know if they're still together or not. His name's Buck Meek.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He plays
you
in the band, I think.
Yeah, he plays in Big Thief. Yeah. His music is incredible.
Yeah, we saw him at Longboat.
Oh man,
a couple months ago.
that's crazy. I
Unreal.
wish I saw that.
I was trying to get the Adrian Lenker tickets, but they were like
Yeah.
$400. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck.
It's like I go see her man for like 20.
Yeah. Like, I'm chilling, man.
What's crazy about that music is I feel like someone like Adrian Lenker doesn't get looked at enough as like a really good guitar player, man. But
I don't
you
know if
see
that's
her,
true, bro. Unreal player.
Yeah, but
Unreal.
like
She's
you would
an
never
unreal
bring her up
player.
in a discussion of like guitar players. But I think guitar playing has evolved a lot
That's fair.
from like maybe what our parents would consider like
You know
a
who's
really good
sick?
guitar player.
one of the best guitar players I know, Moses, bro.
Moses, of course.
If he
Like
wasn't
this
such
Moses
a,
right
if he
here?
wasn't such a loser.
Yeah.
Damn.
No,
Okay.
he's unreal
actually,
too.
He's actually ridiculously
Crazy.
good player. Yeah.
Moses, we gotta tap in, man.
He's a bit stinky, but he's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's not a joke. He's actually really nice.
He is.
Hell yeah, amazing.
No, but I feel you. I think that cottage analogy makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of like feeling like I need to sit down and produce versus this is something I'm just gonna
Just write
do.
a good song.
So like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
everything else shuts down and I'm where I need to be, like what am I making?
Exactly, man. I feel like in Toronto you can get distracted. It's such a small community, and like I think a lot of the people I've worked with for so long, you forget that like I don't have like if I'm not getting what I want, there's other people. You know, Toronto, you can just like stick to the same people for so long. So I opened up the circle this year. I guess you could say I did like drafted the team a bit, made some cuts. Made some drafts.
I'm about to
you
make a
know?
cut right now.
Yeah.
The comment section of this video is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck
I'm coming for
Chris.
everyone, dude. Yeah. But honestly, it's the best thing I ever did. Like I just like tapped in with like, I mean, especially on the songwriting front, like I think a lot of people I did songwriting with in the city, in the core of the city, are incredibly talented, but like we like different things. And I think that you can get influenced in Toronto to think like, oh, I have to do this thing because this is what everyone in my community does. But the second I freed myself from that, I'm like, I don't have to do any of that shit. I have to do what I want to do. And when I found that people that also want to do the versions of what I want to do, it just felt like now we're speaking the same language.
For sure.
You know?
You have to be working from the same pool of reference points.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're on the different page.
So
Yeah.
I have a question about this, like musicianship question in general.
Mhm.
If you played in a band early on, so there was some like technical level you had to hit. Now that you're like writing a lot of music, they're kind of diverging pursuits. Like I want to get really good at guitar, and then that's going to lend itself to writing more. Do you find yourself blocking time to like focus on just getting technically better at playing guitar,
I think so.
or like whatever it is?
The technique changes though. Like what
Sure.
I want to get better at is like, conversation with chords. Like I
Mhm.
want to be able to like speak the same way I do lyrically, but with the chords, like I don't want to just like, me and my friends call them like cowboy chords when it's just like,
Sure.
you're down here and you're around a campfire.
Yeah,
That's sick. I love that. But like, how do I express the same way I am lyrically on the instrument, and it doesn't have to be like noodling and going crazy.
Right,
It just
right.
has to be like,
Totally.
the right.
You get this like nuanced understanding of your board and like tonality and how you hit the strings, and sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just like, how you find these chord progressions that just like speak. And I think that's something I'm challenging myself with. I'm also always trying to learn new things. I've been trying to learn saxophone for like a year. I've played sax on some of my new stuff, but it's like Ableton sax. I'll play like
Bro,
a couple
is,
notes.
Sax is hell on earth.
Yeah, it's
Holy
crazy. It's
shit.
crazy.
I tried for over COVID for like a solid year and a half, 2 years, and like fuck, because I was listening to. Have you heard Puma Blue?
Yes.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
I lost my mind, and I was like doing anything I could to try and get that sax sound out.
Yeah.
Did not happen. It just sounded like wet farts. But
Yeah. When you're trying to find the tone, and then my bass for my band is one of the best sax players in Toronto, I think, and
Yeah.
bass players. His name's Evan Porter. Once he showed me that he's like, oh, the tuning of the sax comes from like how you put the mouthpiece on. It has to be on in like exact same.
Wow.
It is like perfect
Meticulous.
position. Yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, I've been having it like just like jamming it on or putting it on like, so it's like no reason.
Or 2x4, bro. Just try to squeeze it in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's no
Just let the
wonder.
hammer just smash the reed in.
It's not going in, bro.
Would you
Everything like that is crazy.
Would you ever approach music from a structured perspective again? Like, well, not again, but like, would you ever approach it from like a lesson perspective where you're like regularly going to something to build a very specific skill?
I think so. I think it also comes with who you're working with. Like it feels like a lesson sometimes.
Sure.
If you're working with the right people. Like I've been working on this music with this guy. He's like a 74-year-old man. Incredible.
Fire.
He's like
Those guys are sleepers, especially in this town. I've
Dude,
met
yeah.
a couple guys in film who are just like super unassuming, but demons.
yeah. He's like a Rock Hall of Fame like legend.
Sick.
He's incredible, and I have learned so much from just talking with this guy.
Nice.
And not
Nice.
that like 74, it's not like he's like, it's like older, but when you meet him, you're like, he's
Wiser.
not an old, it's just wise, the wisdom. That's where the only reason why I bring up the age is the wisdom.
Yeah.
And this guy's worked with, a lot of people we're talking about before, like Robbie Robertson, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, all these people. So the stories and what he carries with him, and like when we're just talking, when we just sit down in his house and he just like speaks to me, it is a lesson.
Nice.
Wow.
Because like the shit he's saying, I'm like, to me, it just means so much. There's a lot of weight to it, you
Sure.
know?
So how do you meet someone like this?
Man, it was a crazy one. So, I'm signed for like a publishing deal, and I went out with my publisher, and it was like a top of the year. Like we just had like a little like dinner. I don't know, at the Drake, like the rooftop patio.
Nice.
And we're sitting there, and so this guy in question, his name is Daniel Lanois. He's a legend. I'm a big fan of him, and his name came up at the dinner, and so Dan Lanois used to have this project called Black Dub. It's like incredible. It was like this singer named Trixie Whitley, Dan, this guy Brian Blade, playing drums, who's an incredible drummer as well. It's just like solid like black dub, like DUB. Yeah, it's like kind of like this jazz noir like R&B project. It's like fire, like crazy. And I was a big fan. And someone at this dinner brings up Daniel Lanois, and I'm like, I love Daniel Lanois. I'm like, well, I don't know why you're bringing him up right now. I missed this conversation.
So you knew who he was before you even like it even came up in conversation.
Yeah, like
you
I've
already
been a
knew.
fan since I was in a band. Like probably since like 13, 14. I've just been a fan of this guy.
It's crazy.
All his productions, everything. Super fan. So I'm like, I love this guy. And they're like, oh, that's crazy because he's sitting right beside you. And I'm like, I look over and there's this like dude with like a leather
Just staring
jacket.
at you.
Yeah, he's just like I don't know, talking to people, risen up the table and like just like I put it
Nuts.
together. He just looked, you don't really see his face as much in these videos because he was like on the piano. There's a lot of like shots from like the back of him, whatever. And I was like, oh my god, like turned to my side. I'm like, dude, like I am such a fan. Like I love you. We just started like talking, and then at the end of the night, me and my boy have this like hilarious story that we just reminisce on sometimes. He's an incredible artist from Toronto. His name's Runway the Catwalker. He's super sick.
Oh yeah, familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to be Tyson Oj. Yeah. You gotta listen to Runway. He's fire. But me and Runway were kind of just like talking to Dan, just like being like, you're sick, whatever. Like, and he's like, Dan is like looking at us like head to toe. And he says for publish, he's like, I like these guys. Like, can they come to my studio tomorrow? And we were
No.
like, what the hell? Yeah. We're like, please guys. Like,
You guys
them, like,
freak out?
please.
Did you
Yeah.
freak out?
I was internally like freaking out. When we left, I was like, I remember I
Yeah.
called my dad after because like this guy's done. It's like my dad's era of music. Like my dad
Right.
is a Daniel Lanois fan. This guy like executive produced like all of U2's music, or like close to. It was him and like Brian Eno, I think. I don't know, but he's like in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
right?
Brian, bro. And, like,
Yeah,
you
it's
too.
crazy. So I'm like telling my dad, I was all excited. And we went to his studio. It's gorgeous. It's the nicest studio I've ever been to in Toronto, and we just kind of like connected on like a person. This guy is just like a very good person, like a good-hearted, good-souled person who's just like a musical genius, also just like a life genius. Like he's just lived a life. He's got some experience and wisdom to share. And this was probably last year. So between last year and now, we've just kept in touch, and I'll link up with him like here and there to do like whatever. He was an incredible pedal steel player. So I've had him do a lot of pedal steel on my project. Yeah. Some beautiful pedal
That was
steel.
my
Not
pedal
to
steel,
derail you at all.
Yeah.
But we were hanging out at one of the other guys who plays guitar in like our shows and stuff. We're hanging out in his basement. We rented a pedal steel for Long McQuade.
Oh man,
We have-
you can rent those?
They're so
Yeah,
bad,
hell yeah,
bro.
man.
They're like the dirty, cheap Epiphone ones.
That's
But
sick.
bro,
though.
the sounds we made out of that thing,
Shit was
I
crazy,
still
bro.
watch those videos and just collapse
It's
laughing.
like cats fighting, bro.
They're
It's
so-
just terrible. It takes
Wait.
such a special
yeah,
touch.
it's
Yeah.
so
you know,
difficult.
like it's if you don't
guys
know what
mentioned
you're doing.
like the pedal steel with the pedal.
No,
and,
no.
like,
Oh, sorry. It
Oh,
was
it
a lap
steel.
steel.
It was a
Okay,
lap
okay.
steel.
That lap steel was ridiculous.
yeah.
I actually don't know if they
yeah.
have pedal
We take
steels, man.
pictures of lap steels now every time we see one
Yeah,
and
yeah.
send it to each other because
Yeah,
just like it's just like an inside joke now of like how catty it sounded. We were
Yeah.
obsessed with it because of again Dijon Ryan Richter.
Yeah,
playing,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, he was ripping the. But I just bought myself a slider. Like you could turn your guitar into a little like
Absolutely.
lap steel.
I just saw Shabuzi, and his guitar player played like a guitar on a strap, but he would turn it like face up and playing with
Oh,
a slide.
Oh,
Sick.
it's crazy,
Sick.
man.
Yeah.
Well, who's the guy who plays with the beer bottle? Bro? I don't know his name, but If you've ever seen him, he like
It's not Jimmy Buffett.
cranks a beer and then he uses the beer bottle as like a slide.
It's not Jimmy Buffett.
You gotta add that to your show, man.
That's
that would
sick.
actually-
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely used creative things for a slide. I used to use like lighters and like little
Yeah.
bottles, whatever you can
Nice.
find.
Yeah.
But I also got the little slide. But it's funny. I had a similar experience with Last Steel. I tried to play it on one of my songs recently. I'm like, I play guitar. This is gonna be a breeze. It sounded terrible.
It's so hard.
thing.
I need to spend some time with that instrument because
You really do.
bad. Yeah.
That's the other thing. What's your okay? I have this problem. I'm a compulsive buyer of things that I think I'm going to use. Is you have that problem? What like when it comes to
Not with
instruments?
music gear.
Okay, no.
I'm very calculated.
Where's your money going? These
That's
days?
experience right there. That's wisdom, bro. That's
Yeah.
74 years in the game right here.
Yeah.
for sure.
I think it's because my dad is like such a particular guy. He's an amazing person and hilarious, but like my dad his whole life has called himself a professional buyer.
Oh dang.
Crazy. Yeah.
Shout out
Damn,
Mr.
I might need
LaRocca,
some
man.
coaching if he's
Yeah.
willing to take someone on.
All he's like taught me anytime I had to, when I was a kid and like, and I wanted a skateboard or something, my dad would go to every skateboard shop with me
Damn.
and be like, what am I getting? What's the value? Like, what does this offer? What's your price?
Bro, they had posters of your dad in the back room for sure.
Yeah, they're like, don't
Yo,
let
watch
this guy
out for
back,
this
man.
guy.
He has too many
For
questions.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I've become that way with instruments. Like, I've just been trying to buy a bass guitar for like 3 months now.
No, what?
It's a
And
long
there's-
time, man.
I know which one I'm gonna buy, but
What are
I
you
had
looking
to
for?
try everything.
What are you looking for?
know? I'm looking for like a short neck
Mustang?
bass. I wanted a Mustang. I really wanted I think they're called Firebirds, like a Fender
Firebirds,
one.
yeah.
And I found one on Marketplace because you can't really buy those new anymore. I wanted a vintage one.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can buy them new, but it's not the same as like
Yeah.
a classic
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Found a Marketplace, it went. So I was like kind of hurt. I'm like, damn, like it's not a short neck, it's like regular scale, but
Sure.
I just wanted something that was like, I don't know, just like fits the vibe of the rest of my instruments
Sure,
to
sure.
say, in a nutshell.
Totally.
And it's crazy because I've ended up on this like Gretsch bass.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's also
I
like
was going to suggest like a Dan Electro, like a Jerry Jones.
I have a Dan
four-string.
Electro baritone guitar.
Oh, that's on my list. That's
yeah,
on my
my
list.
favorite purchase I've ever made in my life to this day.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've just bought like a Fender one on a whim because I wanted to start playing baritone.
Yeah.
I love it. At
It's
some point, I'm going
amazing.
to flip and switch to like a Dan Electro, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Dan Electro's an amazing brand. And then for guitars, I honestly am just like, the only thing I really don't think about when I purchase is guitars because I've become such a Godin fan.
Yeah.
And anything, I got walked into Long McQuaid recently and I saw a Godin and I just bought it.
Sleepers.
Because I was like,
for real.
I love the brand so much. I don't really care. I've played everything else and like I appreciated like a solid
Yeah.
Telly or Strat or like whatever.
Yeah.
But for what I like, it's Godin.
Yeah.
And it's Canadian made
Oh, wow.
guitar,
You might be the
so
first. You might be starting a trend with the Godins because I don't think.
Godins are nice, dude.
Bringing the Godins
Yeah, you never
back,
hear
man.
about it though. Right?
The-
So it's like,
The
Yeah.
like mid-tier Godins, the ones that have like the Les Paul bodies.
Yeah.
Beautifully balanced. Like they sound quite nice. And they're really snappy, right? Like you get
Yeah.
a really snappy response out of those things.
They're crazy. Yeah. They have humbuckers, they have like regular whatever pickups, and like the one that I just bought has this like crunch button. It's called a crunch button.
what?
Just a big red button.
Yeah, it's a pop can, bro. You
dude.
just
Yeah.
press the pop can on the thing. Yeah, all right, we're crunching up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like you press this button, it's all of a sudden like this crunchy, sick tone.
Fire.
So it's kind of like 10 tones in one guitar, but
Is your ultimate goal to be able to stand up and do a set playing the whole time?
yeah, I mean, I've always played an instrument live.
Yeah.
Always like, it was like, maybe through the trajectory of my live career, it's been like pick up the guitar for a song, put it down, play piano for a song, put it down, hold the mic for a little bit, whatever. I think the last version of my set I was really proud of, but it was definitely very like, hey, I'm a pop artist, like backtracks, like
Yeah.
lights, like I'm walking around, like I'm wearing crazy stuff and I'm like just singing.
Backup dancers or not yet?
Not yet. No. Almost did
That's
it. Yeah.
that's gonna be Kyle, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's a pop star, man.
Yeah, facts.
I
Kyle would be perfect
I was
for
actually
it.
gonna ask you about your linger setup when you did the performance before the screening. What was in that box on stage?
Oh man, I'm happy you noticed. That is trying to remember the brand. I think it's like Electro Harmonics or something.
Okay.
It's like a
Hmm.
vintage. So my boy Harag, who's like a solid friend of mine, we've made a lot of music together and we probably always will. Really dear friend of mine, incredibly talented guy and a huge gear head.
Yeah.
His
I'm
house
sure we
is
get along.
filled with
There's always
gear.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got everything. So he bought this like used and it's just like pretty much a vintage drum machine.
Okay.
I feel like it's not electro harmonics now that I'm saying out loud.
Whatever.
But I
But I was
think
just
it's
curious. I
like,
thought it was like a vocal processor for a second because you were filling with it as you were doing your thing. So I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out. We were like, what the fuck is
it's
this guy
just
using?
straight up like a massive like Ace Tone box. It's like
okay.
like the Ace Tone like rhythm boxes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not by Ace Tone, but it's like just a bigger version, and it just has all the classic like bossa, samba, rock, disco like beats with those like
Yeah.
old sounds,
Ah,
you know?
Okay.
So what I was doing on it was there's like a fill button. So you press the fill button, it does like a little fill. But it's really smart because wherever you press the fill button in the measure, like it compensates for that. So like if you press it 2 beats in, it'll do a 2 beat fill to like fill it out.
Nice.
So it's really like smart machine. So I was kind of just like going between different beats, you could say, on it, and like hitting that fill button and just adding some little like jazz to it, you know?
Yep.
And you can
Who's your band that day, by the way?
so that day was myself, Harag,
Right.
who was the guitarist.
Okay.
And then the guy I mentioned before, Evan Porter, who was on bass.
Okay.
I don't know if he played sax that night. I think he just played bass.
Reg, what bass was he, or what guitar was he playing? Because I think I noticed that too, and I forget what it was. Was it like a
Reg
PRS or
usually plays a PRS.
PRS?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say it's usually a PRS, or he has this crazy Fender that's like it's like I'm blanking on bro's name from Pink Floyd, the guitar player.
Gilmour?
Yeah, I think it's, or maybe it's David Gilmour. It's one or the other, but it's their like signature
Black.
guitar. Yeah, and it's like beat up the same. So it's like
Oh,
all like,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's got all the marks and like the rash
Isn't that
like
crazy? People buy worn guitars factory new, and they take a pumice stone to the
It's
finish,
sick,
and then
man.
you pay like triple the price for it. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know, it's kind of
what?
crazy.
You need that
yeah.
character, right? You need
Yeah,
that
but you got to
character.
wear it out yourself, man.
Yeah, but it's
Buying
like
it factory worn is so weird.
it's kind of weird. But if it's a replica, is that cool?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
I don't know.
I think it's
It's like
kinda
buying
sick.
designer jeans. That
I think
are
this is
already,
a
like,
separate
thrashed.
debate,
Yeah.
bro. We
It's
Yeah.
like,
let's go back and forth on gear for like.
Yeah,
that'll be a
yeah.
gear episode, and you guys can fucking,
We'll get.
you guys can bore the audience. Bro.
Oh man, a gear episode would be crazy. Yeah.
Oh, he just brings as a show and tell, bro. You just gonna bring everything to analog.
That'd actually be
It
sick.
actually would be kind of sick.
I would have known. I would have brought
Write
my
that down.
shit today.
Write it down.
Let's do it.
Oh, absolutely. So switching gears a little bit, you mentioned you're signed, and it's a publishing deal. What have you noticed is different from being completely independent
Yeah. No
Towards-
worries. Yeah.
oh, it's okay.
Um,
towards being like a publish or having a publishing deal?
I think there hasn't been like. Okay, yeah. Let me back it up here. So
you can be as candid as you want.
Yeah, I'll definitely be as candid as I can. I signed as like an artist, like signed a record deal, and at the same time signed a publishing deal, and it's kind of through the same person, I guess you could say. And on the artist side, oh hey, what's up, dude?
Hey.
How's it going? Nice to meet you, dude.
Hi, oh, nice to meet you, brother.
Oh, great to meet you, Kyle.
Yeah, yo, grab
Where's
the mic,
line?
man.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
I love this. I
Okay.
missed you.
I missed you, bro.
I needed this.
Oh, we were just talking about you like a minute ago.
Yeah, we were just talking about you a minute ago.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys say that word?
Not yet.
All right, get Kyle out of here, man. Get him out
No,
of
okay,
here.
yeah. Yo, can we saw back on this?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Oh, that's your shit, man.
Yo, we knew you were
Cheers,
coming, man.
buddy.
We knew you were coming.
Cheers. There you
Oh
go.
shit! You fucking up the mic, bro. We're gonna have to invoice for that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we might get the Summersby sponsor.
You made us have to pay Summersby out a little bit. Yeah.
They're gonna have to pay
Yes,
us. Actually, we're
yeah,
gonna spin
yeah.
the tables on that one.
Yeah. We may have to pay
We were
him
talking
out.
about you and Oh, you hit the switch? There should be a switch on it.
There you go.
Hey, shit.
The switch should go up though.
Touch it.
There you go, buddy.
What's going on?
Hey, we're live.
Yeah.
We're live. We're live.
Saying, like the rings, bro.
Thanks, bro. I'm rich. I'm rich as fuck.
Yeah, you look like it
Iced
for
up, bro.
sure.
I'm fucked up.
All right, I'll take some money.
Yeah,
But
I'm turn my phone off.
all right.
Yeah.
What is this?
So
I just like I stumbled upon this place.
It's a talk show, man. It's we're getting to know Chris a little bit better, and then you just came in and made it a little more interesting.
That's awesome.
We were just talking
Yeah.
about you though. We were talking about like you having backup dancers and shit for your next show. Is that?
We're talking about maybe you start backup dancing
Oh, for your show?
for. I thought that's what you meant.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not really a talented artist anymore. So
Yeah,
I
we
can
may
I
have
can,
to-
I can dance. I can switch.
Yeah, okay. We have to
Yeah.
get this guy to throw some ass. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Throw some
No,
ass,
I
bro.
don't
How do you
know.
feel about that, bro? With the Timbs on too.
Yeah.
I mean these aren't Tim's. These are from George.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're from Walmart.
Nice.
Say George on the tongue.
Good stuff,
Even
buddy.
better, man.
Free. They're free too.
Oh, they were free?
Yeah, they're
Like
free.
5-finger discount free, or was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, 5-finger discount free. You
Nice. Send the cops, dude. This guy's getting
guys
arrested.
tell them about your new music?
Yeah, we've been talking. You know, you
Shit.
missed it
Yeah.
all.
Oh, that's
So
good.
we've already covered that.
Did you tell them that like I'm trying to cut off his Bolton Derby?
Yeah. I told them off this, but
Oh.
yeah, I'm definitely going to the
Tryna
Bolton Fall
wait.
Fair,
Oh,
I think I was- yeah.
Yeah,
which does involve a demolition derby.
it does
Um,
involve it tonight. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be pretty.
You going to that too?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to
Trying
get
to get him out there.
tickets?
Trying to get him out there.
I bought a ticket, so
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
not easy,
Fingers
man.
crossed.
Some food y'all got here.
We got a little bit of Tim Hortons Farmers Wraps.
Oh, there you go. Looks like it's got a fresh round for you, buddy.
That's like, at your own
shit,
discretion.
is that cardstock? Oh shit, we're kind of matching.
yeah.
His album is great, guys. Just check it out.
You should check
I'm
out,
gonna
guys.
have it.
We had a conversation with him later,
Executive produced by Boys Alone, aka Raul. Bet Norby helped on it as well.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks, man. We got to bring you in here for more promotion.
Tight shit.
Yeah. What'd you get up to today?
Oh man. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you. This
Yeah.
is so nice.
Caitlin, you're the best.
You made this with your own two hands?
That's fun.
Crazy.
We should
Really?
have done shots out of the. We will after this. We'll do
Yeah,
shots
yeah.
out of the BA cups.
Yeah.
We'll make a clip on this one.
Oh, intermission type shit.
Well, Scott's here.
Ah.
The team, and he's already done that.
Yo, we got that on record.
Yeah.
That's good. We're still rolling, yo. You know.
It was always meant to be loose and crazy.
Yeah.
You guys fuck with the star first or like this first? Hey man, shout out. Never mind.
Hey, yo, chill.
I'm gonna keep it.
Yo,
Well,
you care to
damn.
repeat those, Kyle?
With the pins too? It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Ah. You guys made these?
Pin it up, yeah.
Nice. Sick.
All right, yeah. Let's do some closing statements. Whatever you want to plug. What do you got coming? What are you working on?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, my name is Chris LaRocca.
We're not
On-
starting from the beginning. Yours.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, so to go through everything with math rock, metalcore.
yeah.
So yeah, on social media, anywhere it's Chris LaRocca with an underscore.
Yeah, I'm looking on screen.
On streaming, it's the same thing. I definitely am putting out new music. I think starting January.
Ooh.
It's an 8-song project.
Album
project.
EP?
It's an EP. It's an EP.
Yeah. Tesla. Oh.
It's a mixtape.
Be secure, bro.
It's not a
Call it
mixtape.
It's a
album.
sex
Be
tape.
secure. Call it.
It's a
Sex
sex
tape. Yeah. You know. But yeah, so I'll be putting out a new project starting January, like putting it out throughout the year. Got some little things tied in with that. Little videos that are being worked on. Trying to do another just trying to honor the music videos I've done in the past. We're just working on something like that. I have a show, 2 shows in Toronto in November.
Write
Yeah.
this down.
Bro, I'm getting all the scoop, yo, sick. And
Oh, you don't know any of this,
I was
eh?
hiding from this guy. I don't want to tell him anything.
You guys
Yeah.
know each other, man, or is this like?
We met today. So I have a show. I believe it's November 21st and 20th and 21st at the Drake. It's like back-to-back Toronto shows. I'm supporting a friend of mine, Sky Geoffroy. He's incredible, musician from Quebec. And yeah, we'll be doing these 2 shows. And then if anyone is in Kingston, I'll be doing a show there, I think on the 22nd.
Come on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yo, Kyle's gonna be there for sure.
I wish. I wish it was at Kingston, but yeah. So yeah, a couple shows in the fall, in November, and new music in January. Other than that, just being with the boys alone.
Oh,
You know? That's it.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. Yeah, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Kyle.